Jiho Kim sat in his chair and looked around the huge room. The Galactic Council Station was bigger than any building he had ever seen on Earth. Hundreds of alien creatures sat in rows of seats that went up to the ceiling. Some had too many arms. Others had skin like rocks. A few looked like giant bugs with sharp teeth. He had been Earth's main speaker for 5 years now. 5 long years of coming to this place and asking for fair treatment. 5 years of watching other species get what they wanted while humans got nothing. Mina Park sat next to him. She was his best helper and had been a soldier for 30 years. Her face was hard like stone, but Jiho could see the anger in her eyes. She had fought wars to keep humans safe, only to watch politicians give away what soldiers had died for. "The Vrex Empire will speak now," said the big voice that filled the room. A creature that looked like a giant lizard with 4 arms stood up. Its name was Speaker Thexmol, and it ruled over hundreds of worlds. Its voice was like rocks falling down a mountain. "Humans have broken our space laws," it said. "Your ships entered Vrex space without asking. You must give us 3 of your colony worlds to make up for this crime." Jiho wanted to laugh, but he kept his face calm. The crime was saving a ship full of children. A Vrex mining ship had broken down in empty space. Human rescue ships had crossed into Vrex space for 10 minutes to save 200 young aliens from dying. Now the Vrex wanted 3 whole worlds as payment. "The Kithara Collective will speak," said the voice. This time, something that looked like a walking stick with too many joints moved forward. It spoke with a sound like wind through metal. "Humans make good medicine," it said. "We need this medicine for our people. Humans must give us all their medical secrets. We offer nothing in return. This is fair. Fair." Jiho had heard that word so many times it had no meaning anymore. The Kithara wanted technology that had taken humans 50 years to develop, technology that could save millions of lives. They offered nothing and called it fair. "The hegemony of Ashkor will speak." A being made of living crystal stepped forward. Light moved through its body like water. "Human space has many asteroids with rare metals," it said in a voice like broken glass. "We want the right to mine all asteroids in human space. Humans may keep 10% of what we find. This is generous." Generous. Another word that meant nothing anymore. These creatures wanted to take 90% of the metals from human space and called keeping 10% generous. Jiho looked at his small tablet. A message was waiting. He touched the screen and saw Director Sung-Ho Lee's face. Sung-Ho was the head of Earth's government, and he looked tired. "The vote just finished, Jiho," Sung-Ho said quietly, so only Jiho could hear. Every member of the Earth Council agreed. "We are done with this. Use Protocol 7. Protocol 7. Jiho had hoped this day would never come. It meant walking away from everything. No more treaties, no more trade deals, no more being part of the galactic community. Just humans, alone in space. But maybe alone was better than this. Jiho stood up. The huge room became quiet. Hundreds of alien eyes looked at him. "The human delegation has something to say," announced the big voice. Jiho walked to the center of the room. His footsteps echoed off the walls. He looked up at all the creatures who had spent years treating humans like children who should be grateful for scraps. "For 5 years, I have come to this place," he said. His voice was calm, but strong. "For 5 years, I have asked for fair treatment. For 5 years, you have demanded more and more from humanity while giving nothing back." The alien delegates started making noise. Some clicked their claws. Others buzzed their wings. A few roared softly. Jiho raised his hand, and they became quiet again. "Today, the Vrex Empire wants 3 human worlds because we saved your children from death. The Kithara Collective wants our medical technology but offers nothing in return. The Ashkor hegemony wants 90% of our asteroid wealth and calls this generous." He paused and looked around the room. "You treat us like we are weak. You think we need you more than you need us. You are wrong." Now the room was completely silent. Even the machines stopped humming. The Terran Federation withdraws from all galactic agreements, Jiho said. We withdraw from all treaties. We withdraw from all trade deals. Starting now, humanity will take care of itself. This delegation is going home to Earth. The room exploded with noise. Aliens jumped from their seats. Some screamed, others roared. A few started making the high sounds that meant they were scared. Speaker Thexmol pushed forward. You cannot do this! Humans need the galactic community. Humans need to be treated with respect, Jiho replied. Since that will never happen here, we choose to leave. He walked back to his seat and picked up his things. Mina Park stood up too. She looked happy for the first time in years. Ambassador Kim, please reconsider, called out the Ashkor crystal being. We can negotiate new terms. Jiho turned around one last time. We spent 5 years trying to negotiate fair terms. You showed us that fairness is impossible here. Goodbye. The human delegation walked toward the exit. Behind them, the noise grew louder. Aliens were arguing with each other now. Some were blaming the Vrex. Others pointed at the Cathara. The Ashkor beings were making angry light patterns. As they reached the door, Mina Park spoke quietly to Jiho. Do you think we did the right thing? Jiho looked back at the chaos they were leaving behind. Ask me in a year. They walked through the door and left the Galactic Council forever. Behind them, the greatest alliance in galactic history was starting to fall apart. The age of human isolation had begun. 3 weeks had passed since the humans walked away. On the Vrex homeworld, General Kex Thule stood in his weapons factory and stared at the silent machines. Why are they not working? He asked his chief engineer. The engineer, a smaller Vrex, with nervous eyes, looked at his reports. Sir, we need rare metals to make the power cores for our weapons. The humans were the only ones who knew how to get these metals from asteroids. Without the metals, we cannot make new weapons. Kex Thule's 4 hands made fists. What do you mean the humans were the only ones? We are the mighty Vrex Empire. Yes, sir, but we never learned how to do it ourselves. The humans did it for us, in trade deals. Now they are gone. The general looked at rows of half-built weapons that would never work. His army had enough weapons for maybe 6 months. After that, they would have nothing new to fight with. Far across space, Captain Hien Cho was having her own problems. She was flying her trade ship, the Aurora's Edge, through what used to be safe space. Now 3 Kithara ships surrounded her. Human. Ship, prepare to be boarded, came the bug-like voice over her radio. You will give us the medical supplies you carry. Hien laughed. I don't think so. Those supplies belong to the colony on Kepler Station. I have no deal with the Kithara. You must honor the old agreements, the voice buzzed angrily. What old agreements? Hien asked. Humanity left the Galactic Council. All our old agreements are finished. There was silence on the radio. The Kithara ships moved closer, but they did not fire. Hien knew why. They needed those medical supplies more than they needed to punish her. The Kithara had built their whole medical system around human technology. Human medicines kept their people alive. Human machines helped their doctors save lives. Without humans, Kithara people would start dying. On Earth, Dr. Wanbin Ko sat in his office reading secret files. As head of the Terran Research Institute, he knew things that most people did not know. The files showed him just how much the aliens had come to depend on humans. The Vrex Empire got their weapon metals from humans. The Kithara got their medicine from humans. The Ashkor crystal beings needed human engineers to fix their cities when they broke. Dozens of other alien races depended on human farming techniques to grow enough food. Dr. Ko made a list of everything humans had given to the galaxy over the past 50 years. The list was very long. Aliens had taken all of this and given humans almost nothing in return. His computer made a sound. A new message was coming in. It was from Admiral Sora Nam of the Human Defense Fleet. Doctor, I am sending you recordings of alien communications we picked up today. You should see this. Dr. Ko opened the files and started listening. The first recording was from the Ashkor homeworld. Our crystal cities are losing power, said one voice, made of musical tones. The human engineers are gone. We do not know how to fix the power systems ourselves. The second recording came from a Cathera world. The medical center on level 7 has shut down, buzzed an insect voice. We cannot make the human medicines work without human doctors to show us how. The third recording was from a Virex military base. General, the weapon production lines are stopping. We need the human metal extraction process, but the humans will not answer our calls. Dr. Ko leaned back in his chair. The aliens were in trouble, and it was getting worse every day. Meanwhile, space pirates were attacking trade ships in areas that used to be safe. For 30 years, human peacekeeping ships had protected the major trade routes. Now those human ships were gone, and the trade routes were dangerous. The Galactic Council tried to send their own ships to protect the trade routes, but they had a problem. Most of their navigation systems had been built with human help. Without human technicians to keep the systems working, alien ships kept getting lost in space. On the Cathara homeworld, the situation was getting desperate. Their people were getting sick, and they could not cure them without human medicine. Worse, they had no idea how to make the medicine themselves. The Cathara leaders held an emergency meeting. We must contact the humans, said the hive leader. Our people are dying. The humans will not talk to us, replied another voice. We demanded their medical secrets and gave them nothing. Why would they help us now? Then we must offer them something they want. What do we have that humans want? They have better technology than us. They have more resources than us. They are stronger than us. The meeting room fell silent. For the first time in their history, the Cathara realized they had nothing to offer that humans needed. The same realization was happening all across the galaxy. The Vrex discovered that human farming methods had been feeding half their empire. Without those methods, people would go hungry. The Ashkor found that human engineers had been maintaining their entire civilization. The crystal cities were breaking down piece by piece. Smaller alien races were panicking too. They had grown to depend on human protection from bigger empires. Now they were defenseless. Admiral Sora Nam watched all of this from her command ship above Earth. Reports came in every hour about alien civilizations falling apart without human help. Ma'am, said her communication officer, we are getting hundreds of messages from alien governments. They all want to talk to human leaders. What are they offering? The Admiral asked. Everything, ma'am. Trade rights, territory, technology, military alliances. Some are offering to become human colonies. Admiral Sora smiled. 3 weeks ago, they treated us like children. Now they are begging for our help. She looked out at the stars and wondered what would happen next. The galaxy was changing fast, and humans were no longer the weak species that everyone could push around. The old galactic order was dying, and something new was being born. 6 months had passed since humanity left the Galactic Council. Alien civilizations were falling apart faster than anyone had expected. Cities were losing power. People were getting sick and dying. Trade routes had become battlegrounds for pirates. The Galactic Council building was almost empty now. Most alien races had stopped coming to meetings. What was the point? Without humans, they had no solutions to offer each other. Counselor Do Yun sat alone in what used to be the human section. He was one of the few humans who had disagreed with leaving the council. He thought they should have stayed and tried to make things better slowly. Now he was not so sure. Every day, aliens who had once ignored him came begging for his help. Counselor Yun, please, said a crystal being from Ashkor. Its light was dim and flickering. Our cities are dying. Can you contact the human leaders for us? I have tried, Do Yun replied sadly. They will not talk to me. I spoke against leaving the council, remember? They think I am a traitor to humanity. the ash core being made a sound like wind through broken glass. "Then we are lost." Similar conversations were happening all over the galaxy. Alien leaders who had once been proud and powerful were now desperate and afraid. Finally, 12 alien species decided to work together. They would send a joint mission to Earth to ask for help. Maybe if they all asked together, the humans would listen. The mission ship was huge and beautiful. It was built from the best technology each species could offer. Crystal power cores from Ash Core, living metal armor from the Zephyrians, quantum engines from the Helix Consortium. It was supposed to show humans how valuable their alien partners could be. The ship reached the edge of human space and immediately found trouble. 3. Human warships were waiting for them. Commander Taehyun Park spoke to them from his flagship. "Alien vessel, you are entering human territory without permission. State your business or turn around." The lead alien ambassador, Speaker Thexmol from the Vrex Empire, tried to sound important. "We are official ambassadors from 12 galactic civilizations. We demand to speak with your leaders." Taehyun almost laughed. "You demand? 6 months ago, maybe you could make demands. Not anymore. You can ask nicely, or you can leave." Thexmol's pride fought with his desperation. His people were starving without human farming technology. His weapons factories were silent without human metals. Finally, desperation won. "Please," he said quietly. "We ask to speak with human leaders." "Better," Taehyun replied. "Follow my ships. Do not try anything stupid. My weapons are much better than yours now." The alien ambassadors did not know what he meant, but they would learn soon. The human ships escorted the alien vessel toward Earth. During the journey, the aliens were shocked by what they saw. Human space stations were bigger and more advanced than before. Human ships moved in ways that seemed impossible. Human colonies had spread to new star systems. "How did they advance so quickly?" whispered a Cathera representative. "They are not wasting time in council meetings," replied an Ashcore crystal being. "While we argued about laws and territories, they were building and growing." On Earth, President Yeji-O called an emergency meeting of the Terran Council. The huge room was full of Earth's most important leaders. "The aliens are here," she announced. "They want to negotiate new agreements. The question is, what do we do?" Counselor Do-Hyun-Yoon, who had been brought back from the council station, spoke first. "We should listen to them. Maybe we can find a way to work together that is fair to everyone." General Minho Kang disagreed strongly. "Why should we help them? For decades, they treated us like servants. Let them solve their own problems." Dr. Wanbin Ko stood up with a data tablet in his hands. "I have been studying reports from across the galaxy. Alien civilizations are collapsing faster than we expected. If this continues, billions of beings will die." "That is not our fault," General Kang replied. "They chose to depend on us instead of learning to do things themselves." Intelligence Director Ji-won Shin had been quiet during the discussion. Now she spoke with worry in her voice. "We have a bigger problem. Some alien species are talking about attacking us. The Vrex Military Council met yesterday. They think they can force us to help them by threatening our colonies." The room became silent. President O looked around at her advisors. "Do they not understand that we are stronger now?" asked General Kong. "They do not know how much stronger," replied Director Shin. "Our new technology is still secret. They think we are the same humans who left the council 6 months ago." President O made her decision quickly. "Send a message to the alien ambassadors. Tell them we will meet with them, but only as equals. We will consider limited trade agreements, but we will not go back to the old system. And send another message to all alien governments. Any attack on human territory will result in permanent isolation. No trade, no communication, nothing." 3 days later, the meeting took place in Geneva, Earth's old diplomatic city. The human delegation was small but confident. The alien delegation was large but nervous. President O spoke first. "You asked for this meeting. What do you want?" Thexmal tried to sound important again. "We want to restore the old agreements. The galaxy needs stability." "The old agreements were not fair to humans," President O replied calmly. "We will not return to that system." "Then what do you propose?" asked the Cathara representative. President O smiled. "We propose something new. Humans and aliens as equal partners. We will trade technology and resources, but both sides must benefit equally. We will help solve galactic problems, but humans will have an equal voice in all decisions." The aliens looked at each other. Equal partners. They had never offered humans that before. "What if we refuse?" asked an Ashkor crystal being. "Then you solve your problems alone," President O said simply. "We do not need the galaxy. The galaxy needs us." The truth of her words hung in the air like a heavy weight. The aliens knew she was right. The meeting ended without an agreement, but both sides agreed to think about it. As the aliens returned to their ship, they realized something important had changed. Humans were no longer asking for fairness. They were demanding it. And for the first time in galactic history, humans had the power to make their demands stick. The alien response to humanity's demands was mixed. Some species, like the Ashkor crystal beings, quickly agreed to the new equality terms. Their cities were dying without human engineers, and pride was less important than survival. Others were not so practical. The Vrex Empire, led by the proud and stubborn military council, saw humanity's conditions as an insult. They had ruled over dozens of worlds for thousands of years. The idea of treating humans as equals made them angry. "We are the Vrex Empire," General Kexthul roared at his war council. "We do not bow to inferior species." "But sir," said his chief advisor quietly, "our weapons factories are still silent. Our food production is failing. Our people are starting to rebel." "Then we will take what we need," the general snapped. "Gather 3 battle fleets. We will show these humans that the Vrex Empire does not negotiate with weaklings." Within days, the largest Vrex military force in 50 years was heading toward human space. 300 warships, carrying enough firepower to destroy entire planets. They were confident that humans would surrender quickly when they saw such power. Admiral Gunwu John was waiting for them at Proxima Station, humanity's main military base outside the solar system. He had only 30 ships, but he was not worried. "Admiral," said Lieutenant Sunmi Huang, his tactical officer, "the Vrex fleet is twice the size of our intelligence report suggested. We are outnumbered 10 to 1. Admiral John smiled. "Numbers do not matter when you have better technology. Are our new systems ready?" "Yes, sir. Phase drives are charged. Quantum shields are online. Reality anchors are in position." The Admiral looked at the tactical display. "Good. Let's show them what humans have learned during our isolation." The Vrex fleet came out of hyperspace expecting to see scared humans begging for mercy. Instead, they found Admiral Gion's small force waiting calmly. General Kexthul contacted the human flagship directly. "Human Admiral, you are outnumbered and outgunned. Surrender now, and we will be merciful." Admiral Gion's reply was calm and cold. "General, you are trespassing in human space. Leave now, and we will let you go home safely." The general laughed, a sound like rocks grinding together. 30 ships against 300? You must be joking." "I am not joking, General. This is your last warning." Kexthul cut the communication and ordered his fleet to attack. 300. Vrex warships fired at once. Enough energy to burn planets flew toward the 30 human ships. Then something impossible happened. The human ships simply weren't there anymore. "Where did they go?" screamed the general. "Ships cannot just disappear." Lieutenant Sunmi Huang smiled as she watched her instruments. The human ships had shifted into a different part of space-time. They could see the Vrex ships, but the Vrex could not see them. "Phase drive is working perfectly, sir," she reported to Admiral John. "We are now existing slightly out of normal space. Their weapons cannot touch us, but ours can still reach them." "Yes, the Admiral nodded. "Begin the demonstration. Target their flagship first." The human ships fired their new weapons. The energy beams came from nowhere, striking the Vrex flagship with impossible accuracy. But instead of exploding, the Vrex ship just stopped working. Its engines died. Its weapons went silent. Its lights went out. "What happened to my ship?" General Kex Thule demanded over his emergency radio. Admiral Gion's voice answered him. "We turned your weapons and engines into harmless light energy. Your ship is not destroyed, but it is helpless. Would you like us to do the same to your entire fleet?" The general was silent for a long moment. This was not how space battles were supposed to work. Ships were supposed to shoot at each other until one side was destroyed. They were not supposed to become invisible and turn weapons into light. "Impossible," he finally said. "No species has this technology." "Humans do," Admiral John replied. "We developed it during our isolation. While you were arguing in council meetings, we were learning how to bend the laws of physics." To prove his point, Admiral Gion ordered his ships to disable 50 more Vrex vessels. The alien ships simply stopped working, one by one. Their crews were safe, but their ships were now floating metal boxes. General Kex Thule realized he had made a terrible mistake. His mighty fleet was being defeated by 30 human ships, and he could not even fight back. "Human Admiral," he said quietly, We ask for terms." "The terms are simple," Admiral John replied. "Leave human space now. Return to your home worlds. Tell your leaders that any future attacks will not end so gently." The remaining Vrex ships limped away, towing their disabled vessels. It was the most complete defeat in Vrex military history. News of the battle spread across the galaxy in days. Alien species that had been considering military action against humanity quickly changed their minds. The humans were not just stronger than before. They were stronger than anyone had imagined. On Earth, scientist Young-Ho Bae explained to the Terran Council how humanity's isolation had made them so advanced. "For decades, we held ourselves back," he said. "We shared our discoveries with aliens instead of developing them fully. We compromised our research to avoid offending alien sensibilities. We wasted time on diplomatic meetings instead of scientific work." President O nodded. "And now? Now we have advanced more in 1 year than in the previous 10 years of galactic cooperation. Our phase drive technology allows us to step out of normal space. Our quantum conversion weapons can turn any energy into any other form of energy. Our reality anchors let us change the laws of physics in small areas." The room was quiet as the leaders absorbed this information. "Are we really that much more advanced than the aliens?" asked one counselor. Dr. Bay nodded. "Yes, and the gap is growing every day. While they struggle with failing infrastructure, we are discovering new sciences they cannot even imagine." Meanwhile, smaller alien species were taking notice. These were races that had been bullied and ignored by the big empires, just like humanity had been. They began sending secret messages to Earth. Ambassador Heiyun Song received dozens of these communications in her office. "The Kalari Republic wants a defense treaty with humanity," she reported to her staff. "The Vrex Empire has been threatening them for years. The Mindon Collective is offering us exclusive mining rights to their asteroid belts in exchange for protection from Cathara expansion," added her assistant. "The Tau Federation wants to hire human engineers to rebuild their damaged cities." "Ambassador?" Song smiled as she read through the messages. 6 months ago, these species had ignored humanity completely. Now they were competing for human attention and protection. The galaxy was changing rapidly. The old order, where big empires bullied smaller ones, was breaking down. In its place, a new system was emerging with humanity at the center. The test of human resolve was over. Humanity had passed with perfect marks. Now the real work of building a new galactic order could begin. 2 years had passed since humanity walked away from the Galactic Council. The galaxy was completely different now. The old council building sat empty, its grand chambers echoing with silence. The age of alien dominance was over. Director Che-Young. Lim stood in her new office on Luna Station, Earth's moon. As head of the Terran Diplomatic Corps, she managed humanity's relationships with 47 different alien species. Each relationship was different, but they all had one thing in common. Humans were the senior partner. Her assistant brought her the daily reports. "Ma'am, the Kalari Republic is requesting human military advisors. They are worried about Vrex rebels attacking their border worlds." Che-Young nodded. "Approved. Send them Captain Park's unit. What else?" "The Zephyrian Trade Union wants to increase their metal shipments to us by 30%. In exchange, they want access to our new medical technology." Acceptable, but only the basic medical technology. The advanced systems remain classified. This was how galactic politics worked now. Aliens asked, humans decided. It was the complete opposite of the old system. The Vrex Empire had completely fallen apart after their defeat at Proxima Station. Different Vrex worlds had declared independence and were now fighting each other. Some of these new Vrex nations had asked for human protection. Ambassador Su-Young-an was on one of these worlds right now, meeting with the Vrex rebels who had overthrown their old government. "Please, Ambassador," said the rebel leader, a young Vrex named Theklar. "The Imperial forces are coming back. They have new weapons from the hegemony of Ashkor. We cannot fight them alone." Su-Young looked at her datapad. The reports were clear. The old Vrex Imperial government was trying to rebuild their empire with alien help. They had learned nothing from their defeat. "We can provide protection," she said finally. "But there are conditions. Your people must accept human authority in military matters. You must allow human advisors in your government. And you must never attack other species without our permission." Theklar's pride struggled with his desperation. But his people were dying, and the humans were offering life. "We accept," he said quietly. It was a scene that played out across the galaxy. Proud alien civilizations accepting human leadership because the alternative was destruction. Far away, on the research station New Horizon, Dr. Inwoo Choi was making history. His mixed team of human and Ashkor scientists had just created a new type of energy that could power an entire star system. The cooperation worked because both sides respected each other as equals. "The humans bring creativity and innovation," explained his Ashkor partner, Crystal Singer Veltar. "We bring stability and long-term thinking. Together, we achieve what neither could do alone." Dr. Choi smiled. "This is what cooperation should look like. Both sides contributing, both sides benefiting." The human-Ashkor partnership had become a model for other species. The Ashkor had been the first to accept humanity's equality terms, and they were being rewarded for their wisdom. Their crystal cities were more beautiful than ever, powered by human Ashkor technology. Not every story was so positive. The Cathara Collective had refused all human offers of cooperation. Their pride would not let them accept human leadership. Now their medical system was collapsing, and their people were dying from diseases that human medicine could easily cure. Captain Jin Young No stood on the bridge of his exploration ship, Terra's Pride, and watched a new solar system appear on his screens. His job was to find new worlds for human expansion, and he was very good at it. "Captain," reported his science officer, "the third planet shows signs of primitive life. Intelligence suggests early tool use, possibly Stone Age level." Jin Young nodded. "Mark it as a protected world. We will monitor from a distance, but not make contact until they are ready." This was another change in how humans dealt with the galaxy. The old alien empires would have conquered primitive worlds or used them as slave labor. Humans protected them and helped them develop naturally. Word of human fairness spread quickly among younger civilizations. Species that had hidden from the galactic community, for fear of being conquered, now came forward asking for human friendship. The greatest change of all was happening on Earth itself. The planet that had once been ignored and dismissed by the galaxy was now its most important world. Alien ambassadors competed for the honor of visiting Earth. Trade ships lined up at human spaceports. Scientists from dozens of species worked in human laboratories. Today was the most important day in galactic history. Representatives from 47 alien species had gathered in New Geneva for the signing of the Human-Led Alliance Charter. President Ye stood before the assembled delegates. 2 years ago, many of these beings had treated humans as inferior. Now they were here to formally acknowledge human leadership. "We gather today not as conquerors and conquered," she began, "but as partners in a new galactic order. Humanity leads this alliance not because we demand it, but because we have earned it through strength, wisdom, and fairness." The alien delegates listened respectfully. They had learned that interrupting human speakers was a mistake. "Those who join us as equals are welcome," President O continued. "Those who would dominate others are not. The age of galactic bullying is over. The age of cooperation has begun." One by one, the alien ambassadors came forward to sign the charter. Each signature meant accepting human leadership and human rules for galactic behavior. In the observer gallery, Jiho Kim watched the ceremony with quiet satisfaction. The old ambassador who had walked away from the Galactic Council now saw the results of his brave decision. Humanity had not just survived its isolation, it had used that time to become the galaxy's dominant power. "Do you regret it?" asked Mina. Park, who stood beside him. "Walking away from the council, I mean." Jiho smiled. "Look around, Mina. 2 years ago, we were begging for scraps. Today, we are setting the rules for the entire galaxy. Do I regret it? Not for a single moment." As the last alien ambassador signed the charter, the crowd erupted in cheers. But they were not just cheering for the alliance. They were cheering for humanity's incredible journey from victim to leader. The transformation was complete. The weak, species that had once been bullied and ignored, was now the most powerful force in the galaxy. Humans had proven that sometimes the best way to win is to walk away from a rigged game and create your own rules. The ceremony ended with President O's final words. "The human-led alliance begins today. Together, we will build a galaxy based on respect, cooperation, and mutual benefit. The strong will protect the weak. The advanced will help the developing, and no species will ever again face the bullying that humanity once endured." The alien delegates applauded these words, but they also understood their deeper meaning. Humanity would lead because humanity had the strength to enforce their ideals. The galaxy would be peaceful because humans would make it peaceful. As the IAE delegates filed out to begin their new relationships with humanity, one thing was clear. The age of human weakness was over forever. The age of human supremacy had begun, and it would last for as long as humans remained strong enough to maintain it. In the end, humanity had not just withdrawn from negotiations. They had withdrawn from weakness itself.